Marriage Broker Auntie presents Behind the Scenes. This is an audio series documenting the lives of happily married couples who've committed to spending their every day building healthy relationships. Growing up, we've listened to countless stories that end with meeting your soulmate, getting married, and living happily ever after. But is that all to relationships? We're here to find out more. We hope to unravel marriage through stories of real relationships. I'm your host, Priyanka Devaraj, founder and CEO of Marriage Broker Auntie, which is a matrimonial advisory and relationship coaching service. What you're about to hear is an unscripted conversation with a couple who've graciously come forward to share their relationship story.
My name is Apoorva Devaraj. I was born and brought up in Bangalore. I'm a mechanical engineer who worked in the software industry for 5 years. Now, currently, I'm living in Austin, Texas, and I'm a homemaker.
Yeah, my name is Devraj. I'm also mechanical engineer. I work as logistics engineer in the US. I have a lot of hobbies that I like. We both actually into fitness. Uh, I'm into music also. I play the guitar. I like to sing and very fun loving. I'm very funny.
On today's episode of Behind the Scenes, we have Apoorva and Devaraj. Apoorva and Devaraj were classmates in mechanical engineering in Bangalore. Their story is a classic friendship turned into romance, which eventually led them to getting married in 2014. While they've been married for 6.5 years, they spent the first half of their marriage living thousands of miles apart. When they finally started living together in Austin, Texas, they began to fall in love all over again. But with the new people, each of them had become living apart. This happy go lucky couple with a great sense of humor have never had any big fights, which also explains why so many people I know want partners with a good sense of humor.
I used to see her in class, and she used to be reading something about Bharatanatyam. I think she was dancing at that time. So I also like the arts. I used to learn music at that point. So I used to go and talk to her about all that, and then realized that she had a good sense of humor because she was laughing at my jokes. So obviously, that means she has a great sense of humor. And then I realized she's very good at, very smart at what academic. So
Got it.
a lot of time, the bahana of getting her help, we used to talk on the phone. I used to take her help, but after that, it used to go on to
Right,
general and then romance started.
right, right. And how did you guys decide to get married? How did that romance go from just college dating to, something much more serious?
We
Okay,
had been dating for a year or 2 years probably,
okay,
and been friends for longer. But then he was supposed to come to the US to
okay,
study. So
got
we
it,
were kind of thinking about, okay, what are we going to do? Are we going to get engaged? And then he comes to study, and then we get married after he
got it,
finishes.
got it.
But then my dad got cancer, and it was like pretty bad.
Oh,
So
okay,
like
got it,
terminal cancer. So
got it,
my mom knew that we were dating and that, we were
got
thinking
it,
about what to do next.
got it,
So she kind of asked my dad, like, do you want to see her married, like,
got it.
before you die? Kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he said, if it's possible, then yes. So
got it,
that kind of fast tracked our thoughts, and we were like, okay, do you want to get married now? And
got it,
then the
got
rest
it.
of it.
Wow, wow. Okay. Dave, how old were you that time?
I was 24.
Wow, did that not freak you out? Because I meet a lot of guys who get freaked out about getting married even at 30. How did you feel? Because I'm pretty sure there were not a lot of friends who were getting married at that age.
Yeah, I was freaked out. But I just ignored it and pushed through.
Got it.
I remember speaking with one or two of my friends and saying, I'm actually scared. Should I go through with it? But I think I had good support from family and on both sides and friends. But I knew in my mind I was not ready. But
Got
I
it.
just went through with it.
Got it.
And I took a gamble. It worked.
Now, like, so many years after being together. What do you guys like about each other? Are these the same things that you liked in the beginning, or are they new things? Like, how have things changed?
For me, I think it's pretty much still the same. The first thing that I liked about him was his sense of humor. That's what led us to becoming friends and talking and more.
Yeah.
And he's still a funny guy, so that stays. And he was very hardworking then, he still is.
Okay.
And I really like that. So when we got married, like we said, we were really young, and
Yeah.
I think he had always stayed at home, never been away.
Yeah.
So I think now seeing him after coming to the US, after him living alone,
Yeah.
I feel he's a lot, especially like sharing the household work and things like that.
I like a lot of things that I used to like about her.
Mhm.
She's a very calm, stable person. I'm a little emotional, so
Mhm.
she is not as emotional as me. What I like the most is two things. One is she's drama free and she doesn't gossip. So if anybody tries to engage in um, things that can cause friction, she will immediately disengage to an extent that the other person will lose interest. And because of that, our relationship has been very smooth. I've never had to face any of these hundreds of people trying to cause friction in two people who are happy with each other.
Right.
Another huge thing I realized after marriage, I like to help my loved ones and friends when they need help, right? Whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And it is easy for me to say, whatever you
Correct.
need, I'll do it for you. But when there is another wife involved,
Yeah.
not another, there is one wife involved, you have to also make sure that she also wants to help, right? There is no
Correct.
obligation for her to help my
Correct.
friend, my loved one.
Correct.
But she jumps in with equal enthusiasm to help and genuine, right?
Correct.
Colleague, this thing. So that means a lot to me, right? Then we can help other people as a couple, and
Right.
then that brings us closer, and that also helps us make close friendship with other people whom we help.
Yeah.
So that's a huge deal for me. I was also studying in the US when she was in India, and
Correct.
I had gone to New Orleans, and I had gone to
Yeah.
strip club. And then I told her, "Kuch nahi kiya maine." She's like, "Why? You could have done something." So when you have that much freedom, you don't like to abuse it.
Correct. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So the relationship is very relaxed.
When you spend time together, like as a couple.
And the trekking Marialam
Yeah,
trekking.
go for hikes together.
Yeah.
Got it.
I think reading is one thing we can enjoy doing together. We sit together and read, but it's like a nice thing, and
Got
then
it.
we can read the same books and talk about it.
Even books, we read different things, but now because we've lived with each other for a while, we are now cross reading. What she reads, I
Got
read.
it.
Her,
Yeah, I think we're like slowly I can see us like getting into each other's preferences, which we didn't before. So
What is a favorite memory till date? Like before, after marriage, anything at all?
Yeah, before marriage, I liked that memory when I got my first job, L&T, and she was with me. Okay, we were roaming around with each other, and then the one email came to me. Then I'm
Right.
like, oh, I got a job. Let's go. Then we went to computer lab and we checked the email. My name is there. We were very happy. We went to that office, and then I saw the list. It's confirmed.
Mhm.
Then I was happy, but she was in tears. She was that happy. So that is why that moment is happy for me.
Oh, okay.
I saw that somebody else is so happy for me, genuinely happy for me.
Right.
And that made me more happy, not the job itself.
Aw.
I think our trip to Seattle, when he was studying here, so I was working in India, so like we'd been apart for like a few months, and then for December for Christmas and New Year I came here. So I came to Seattle, he also came there, and then we spent time there together. So that was very nice.
You seem like a happy couple, but I'm sure you guys fight too. What do you fight about? What do you guys usually fight most about?
Yeah, so I think major fighting has not happened yet. Maybe because we're still young. 6 years is actually about nothing in a marriage. So maybe as we get to 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, when we face real life problems and we have children, maybe not, then we might have the real like Mahabharat kind of fights. But hypothecate it is in the who will clean the vessels, who will according to me, I feel like I'm the only one who worries about. Like I worry
You
that how is she not worried that the dishes are not clean in the night, right? And the Mari that like, but I'm learned to accept it.
Yeah.
I think that also helps that we are living far away.
Yeah.
All these people who cause friction, they're all in Bangalore. So
Yeah, I think that does help.
ask the result.
We're in our own bubble, so we can
Right.
just, we make accommodations for each other when we need to. There's no need to fight about stuff.
Right.
There's nobody else trying to control our schedule or our
Right.
what we want to do.
And I'll tell you, I told you no. Like if somebody goes to her and says, "Hey, you know what that Dave did," she will not even.
Say okay.
It won't even reach me. If it doesn't even reach me, if it falls flat to her head only, then where is the fighting? One thing she was telling me yesterday is we don't go to bed angry. We must resolve it and then go to sleep.
Right. And how do you go about resolving issues? Like, do you talk it out? How do you do it?
Say sorry. Because the nature of the fights, like I said, haven't been so bad yet.
Yeah.
So right now, the sorry and chalo, forget it. Let's go.
Right.
Nothing formal or no. It hasn't come to that. Like
individually, do you think you guys are someone who have similar conflict resolution styles, or like, are you different?
I think very, very different. I'm the first to shout. She shout as such, but I will shout.
I don't like to talk when I'm angry because I know I might say things that I don't mean. So I usually try to be quiet if I'm angry, and then I take my time to think about what is wrong, and then maybe later when we are calm, we can have a talk about it.
You still have a long way to go, right? 6 years you can't understand Chola.
Yeah, and like technically we've been together for 3 years because we got married and then he immediately came here to study. It was almost, I felt like a restart because I was working with her for 2 years. And it's like, you're like 25, 26, you're growing, you're experiencing the world. And then he's been here and it's such a big change for him to live alone. And like so I felt when I came here, he had like grown so much and it was almost like two new people meeting each other again.
Wow. Yeah, I'm sure. And how did you guys deal with that?
For me, I think many of those things were good changes.
Right.
I like that he had become a little more mature. He had become more responsible, living alone. He had learned to take care of himself. And that for me was like a nice thing. So I liked the changes that had happened. It was a little difficult, I think, for me. That I quit my job and came here. I didn't know anybody, and I had to like just stay at home.
Yeah.
So the first year I think was like difficult, and there was like a lot of friction because we were both used to like living alone, independent lives for the last 2 years, and suddenly you're like put into this house and like you have to spend all your time together. A lot of friction, and he was used to living alone. So then for me to be there, and then we have to build that routine together.
He adjusted a lot more than I'd had to.
Yeah, because for me also, I was like coming from like living at home to living alone. So I had to figure out what my schedule was going to be, like, and all the chores and how I'm going to help out, where I'm going to fit in with. Because it's like he has his schedule, but then when I come, I might not want to stick to what he's doing. And then and I'm not like he said, he's like, oh, it has to be done now. And for me, I'm like, I'll do it when I feel like doing it. Like, I'm not going to bend over backwards to clean that sink just dirty. I'll do it. And I'm like, if you have such a problem with it, then you do it when you want to do it.
Right.
Like, want me to do it, I'll do it when I need to. So, those were like, there was a lot of friction in the beginning. But now I think there's some balance. Sometimes I know it makes him anxious or makes him angry. So I do it earlier. Like, coming home, I'm like, okay, half an hour before he comes home, I'm like, okay, clean, so that he's happy and he can see it clean. And sometimes, like, I leave it and he doesn't really question it too much. And he just comes as it. And I think both of us have learned to accommodate.
What is your secret to not letting these little things bother you or ruin a day, ruin an evening? Like what do you tell yourselves, each of you?
Uh, I think it is just age and like with age comes maturity. The anger just subsides. The anger is still coming, right?
Right,
When I
right.
see what he's saying, I'm angry, right? But then I've spoken to few people like me who are
Yeah,
like me,
right.
who keep it to be clean. And I asked, what is your secret? He or she told me, I just clean it. I
Hmm.
don't expect the world to change for you. You have to change if you don't like something.
Right.
So I will clean it seething in anger. I will channel all that anger into that vessel. Okay. அந்த ஆட்லலாம் பார்த்துருக்கேன்ல அந்த லைன் வரும் அந்த vessel. So I will clean it like that.
Right.
And then I will come and sit down or I'll go take a shower or something like that. After the anger is gone.
Got
So
it.
I think age slowly the anger will also come down because you have limited number of pucks to give. All the pucks that you give to this dishwashing issue, then you get fatigue. You will have to reserve anger for other important things.
Correct. And
So,
what do you tell yourself? Like, maybe you don't want to clean, but then you still clean just before he comes because you don't want to have, let's say, a petty argument, right?
Why isn't this done? So like, might as well put in the effort to clean the vessels than have a fight later about why I didn't clean it. So
Right.
depends. Some days I just don't feel like it and I leave it and I don't care. I'm like, okay, he's angry, but he's going to do it. So it's the work is done. Let him be angry for a while. I can deal with that.
Got it. Got it.
and more and more I've realized that these things don't matter, right? When I'm going through real shit in life, that time
Yeah.
is there for me, right? So then I realized I should not give too many fucks about whether the dishes are clean or not.
Right.
So I take that Scotch Brite and go to town. Right? what else? So I'll clean. I will now. I've started to enjoy it. It relaxes me.
Right.
Vacuum the clean the house. I take care of the car. All that I do. And then when I need real help, I will
Yeah.
ask her like how to open a bank account, how to any methodical things. She will
Yeah.
do. Like
Got
how
it.
the visa process. Doesn't be good. Like slowly she will do. Even Shikhar Dhawan and Rohit Sharma, if you see their interview, it took a lot of time for them to say,
Which I might just say.
okay, I'm Shikhar Dhawan. They said in Hindi in that interview, to Gaurav Sharma, if you see that interview, Gaurav Kapoor, they
Yeah.
say, आंखों में के हम decide करते हैं एक और दो just by looking at the eyes. We have not
Yeah.
reached that stage yet. But
Right.
we're getting there. That's the partnership I want to, right? If you see those two batting, it's sublime, right? They hit and they just know whether they run a one or two. Here we are still getting run out sometimes, but slowly within another 5 to 10 years, I feel like we'll be there. That partnership. We are both crazy about Test cricket. We will watch all night.
Oh shit! If you're crazy about Test cricket, I think that's some other level of compatibility. Not even like ODI, so or T20. You've been married for a while. You've had an interesting relationship where you were apart for a few years. You're together now. Of everything that you've learned being married, if you could go back to your single self, tell yourself one thing that you didn't know about marriage, what would it be?
I would go to myself and say, "You are not the center of the universe. There is somebody else also. There is a concept called other people. Um, your don't cling to your parents and whatever they think. They are not your heroes. There'll be a lot of noise from the world.
Yeah.
That signal is only the signal between you and whoever you're going to marry.
Oh.
Faster you do that, the better. Right? I would say that, and I would also tell myself, don't be nervous. And you'll always think, oh, neighbor's wife is sexier and all, but don't. Being the neighbor's wife in the party with full sleek dress, mask, all the thing is one thing, but living with that lady is total different thing. Where you have got is very good. You have gone for the long term. Overall, I would say I'm lucky. I will go and tell myself I've been lucky.
Mhm.
So you're going to be lucky.
That's sweet.
I have a brother, elder brother, so I had gotten a lot of advice from my sister-in-law about what it was going to be.
Right.
So it's not like be ready to compromise, be ready. He's going to be immature. Be ready for that. because they both are also the same age and they got married. So she's like, guys, your own age are immature, so just be ready for it for the rest of your life. Like he's never going to catch up. So she can like mentally prepare me for all the worst case scenarios. So I think I came in with my eyes wide open. I walked into it thinking I'm going to be every day I have to learn to like deal with whatever comes next.
Got it.
We're a fun-loving offering, right? And we are both we are both drama-free, and we love the company of new people, and whatever new friends or relationships we make with other people as a couple, we take it seriously. Come with complementary strengths, right? Like Shikhar Dhawan and Rohit Sharma, complementary, and it's nice. So we are drama-free, chill. It's easy to be around us.
It was absolutely wonderful chatting with the both of you and getting to know the two of you. I still can't believe you guys don't fight about serious issues, but we'll let that be and we'll touch wood and hope that you guys never fight about serious issues. What I learned from my conversation with Apoorva and Dev is that it's really important to establish healthy boundaries first up around you as a couple so you don't let anything get in the way of building your relationship. Trust lies at the foundation of every relationship, and if that's strong, you can make a marriage work even if you live miles apart at either ends of the world. I also learned that it's really important to pick your battles and not let tiny squabbles get in the way of building a lifelong relationship, especially when you know that you'll have each other's backs when it really matters. Lastly, I think if a couple says they love Test cricket, is there anything in the world that can stop them? Probably not. Here's wishing Apoorva and Dev many more fun-filled years and lots of good vibes so they can put Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan to shame. Thank you for listening to Behind the Scenes. These conversations are available on the Marriage Broker Auntie channel on YouTube and Spotify. Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so you can have access to future episodes as soon as they're out. Please do like and share these conversations with your friends and family. Much has been said about how we meet our partners, but very little about how we build relationships with them. So if you think this conversation could inspire someone you know, don't forget to share this with them. If you'd like to follow us on social media, you can find us on Instagram and Twitter. You can also go to our website marriagebrokerantie.com, Auntie with an IE, to learn more about this project and the work we do.